going to start this vlog kind of aesthetically. I normally try to, but here we are. It's an hour to face off and we got to figure out what book we're reading. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Faceoff Weekend starts in 1 hour. Starts today. It's going to be 48 hours of continuous sprints and a fun side quest where all of the teams are participating in a big airport scavenger hunt, and the more books that they read and submit, the more prizes, the more like items they find. Sorry for the interruption. There is literally a semi truck parked outside of my house. I think they're like readjusting the load on like if it's like a flatbed semi. I was like, what are you delivering to my house? I don't think they are. Anyways, Faceoff Weekend. It's a big scavenger hunt where all the teams are participating and they are looking for items in the airport. I made a bunch of graphics. They're all like this, and it's been a lot of fun. Like, it was a lot of fun making the graphics. There are a couple of hints in the graphics, in the descriptions of the graphics, for you to like peruse and like maybe find little hints about future legs or other things. So anyways, I had a ton of fun with that and I'm really excited for all the teams to just have fun this weekend. Anyways, it's an hour, 55 minutes to kick off and I have a lot to do. I need to create new Discord channels. I just thought about that. Like literally as we were talking, I thought about that. I want to make a separate announcements channel for each team. And then I need to pick a book so that I'm ready to go, and then I need to like get ready for sprints. I went to bed at like 2 o'clock last night. I was trying to finish up my book for Cape Town so that I was here, I was not like behind, and I was also building the spreadsheet, and then I woke up at 6. So that's fun. So anyways, that's why I'm a little bit chaotic, crazy today. Plus I did take my ADHD medication, so now my brain is like firing a million miles a minute. Anyways, I have my water. Big old cup of water here today. The goal is to drink at least 1, maybe 2 of those today, and read a lot, and also try to be a little bit active. I kind of want to do a little bit of house cleaning today, a little bit. I don't want to just sit in front of the computer all day. We have long enough sprints that like if I have an audiobook, I can go vacuum, I can go like do laundry, stuff like that. Because that way on Sunday when it ends, I do not feel completely behind on the weekend. I've been talking for too long. Let's go spin the wheel and pick our first book. Okay, I've reset the spinner wheel so all 5 teams are on there twice. This is how we're going to keep it for the weekend. I'm not going to change out anything. I think the rule will be that if I spin for the same team twice, I'll spin again. That way they're not getting the points back to back. That's the only rule. Okay, well, I guess we're staying on spooky for the first time. Okay, so this is actually kind of perfect. I have a lot of options for short books this weekend. I do, when I'm on spooky, at some point want to start the graphic novel series, Something is Killing the Children. I know a lot of people have been reading that one recently, and I definitely want to read it. However, I think for the first book, I am gonna want an audiobook because I'm gonna wanna make sure that the spreadsheet is working and stuff like that. So, I, fortunately, a couple days ago, got the hold-in for What Feast at Night by T. Kingfisher. This is the second book following What Moves the Dead, and I had a really good time with that one. So I think that's going to be my first book. It's a 5-hour audiobook, so I should finish it in a couple of sprints, theoretically like 2 to 3 sprints. So probably my sprints I will, because I have 4 hours that I'm on. So that's going to be our first book. That way I have, I have the ability to get up, go do things. I can work on the spreadsheet while I'm listening to the book and not have to like have my full focus on the book. Exactly, like physically reading with my eyeballs. You know what I meant? Okay. But I am going to be getting a lot of graphic novels in this weekend. I have the latest volume of Lore Olympus that I definitely want to get to when I'm on fantasy. I think I have a couple of sci-fi graphic novels. I have the Doctor Who comic. I feel like this would be sci-fi. And listen, let me just point this out. The genres do not actually matter this time. I'm using it for my brain. Sorry, I probably should have said that ahead of time. The genre bonuses do not count for Face-Off. You're not getting any genre bonuses. You can read outside of your genre. But if I do not have any prompts, do not have any guidance, I will just stare at my shelf for the entire sprint and not be able to read anything. So That's why I'm doing, like, I'm basically trying to, at least until I run out, trying to find books that are in the genre of the team I'm giving the points for. I feel very, very out of sorts this morning. You're getting me at my just raw form today. Pure chaos. You thought I was chaotic before. You ain't seen nothing. No, now you're seeing it. So anyways, this is, these are a couple graphic novels. I don't even know what this is. I feel like I got it at like a library sale maybe, but it's like underwater sci-fi maybe. And then Doctor Who, a couple graphic novels. I have The Lore Olympus. I don't know what other graphic novels I have. I think Lumberjanes is on KU, so I could read that. I have a ton of romance novellas. I have 3 Sierra Simone novellas. I have the vampire one that I got at Polycon. I have Salt in the Wound, which is the prequel to Salt Kiss that I read last month. I didn't know which order to read that in. I read a review that was like, read Salt Kiss and then read this. And then when I was reading Salt Kiss, they're like, well, did you read the prequel? I was like, no, I said I saw you shouldn't. And they're like, oh no, you should have read that. So I don't know. I have Midnight Mass, which is the novella to the Priest series. I have the Katie Roberts Wicked Villain shorts. But anyways, I need to go do a couple of admin things to get ready for sprints. They start in 45 minutes. So I will touch base with you a little bit later. Okay, we're doing a phone update because I have 5.5 minutes left of my sprint. It's the last sprint on my channel, and I finished What Feast at Night by T. Kingfisher. I don't think I liked this one as much as What Moves the Dead. It just wasn't as atmospheric as that one. There was not as many like creepy factors. It just wasn't my favorite. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it's truly a book that exists. But we're gonna count it for Team Spooky, and we're going to spin and see who else we're gonna read for next. Hard to do one-handed, but. All right, we're gonna read sci-fi next. Okay, I think because I'm not in charge of sprints after this, and it's okay if I leave my computer, and like it's okay that like I don't have to worry about the timer pausing or whatever. I'm not in charge. I am going to physically read a book. I'm gonna go ahead and read the Doctor Who graphic novel. I think I might actually go outside and read this after I finish up these sprints and read this outside because it's really nice outside. Like it's warm, but there's a really nice breeze. We have a shade sail. I'll just take the dogs out and we'll go read. So that's what I'm gonna do once Brittany starts her sprints. Hello, it is 3:45 in the afternoon. I did hop off of sprints for a little bit because there were enough people there and I probably am gonna go take a nap. But I wanted to come in and talk to you. I did watch the end of the Taylor Swift concert, but I did finish Doctor Who Afterlife. This is I don't know how to like rate this. I don't know that I will rate it. Maybe like 3.5. I don't know. Here's the thing, like I don't know if I'm jumping in like mid, because I just got this at a library sale. So like I don't know if I'm jumping in like mid story. It says 1 on it, but I don't know what that means. Like I don't know if it's like 1 in a mini series and there's a lot more out there. I don't know. But these are not only companions that we don't know from the show, but it's also aliens and monsters that we don't know from the show. And so I don't know, I feel like for the first volume, it would have been cool to have, I don't know, like a Dalek or, you know, I don't know like when in the timeline this is based on the companion because I don't know who the companion is. That's my only complaint about it, but it was fun. Like it's like very episodic. The art style is really pretty. Like it's very like comic book inspired, so I like that. I am having some ice cream. There's this little ice cream, like Utah ice cream place down the street from us, and they have an ice cream called Monkey Business. It's banana ice cream with brownies and salted caramel, I think. I don't remember, but it's delicious. I got it the other day and I have like a tiny bit left. So that's my little afternoon treat. But let's go ahead and spin for our next team. I don't know that I'm gonna read right now unless I can find an audiobook because I'm probably gonna go lay down for a little bit, but we do need to spin. All right, on to book number 3.
fantasy. All right.
So the options that I have for fantasy that I definitely want to get to are both physical. I want to read Jay Bree's prequel novellas to The Crown, whatever it is, Curse of Oaths, something, because I got that really nice fancy one from a Polycon, but I know you need to read The Sword and the Scepter, I think. I don't know, I have them on KU. They're about 120 pages each, and then the other one is Lore Olympus Volume 6. I don't want to read a physical book right now. So I think I'm just going to go take a nap, and I'll like wake up refreshed and pick then. Hello, we're doing another phone update because it's not dark, it's not light enough in here to use my actual camera. I'm gonna have to fix it in editing because even this is very yellow, but it is what it is. It's dark. It's a little after 10 o'clock on Friday night, so we are on to the next set of sprints. I did finish my third book, and that was The Scepter by Jay Bree. Why did it take me so long to read this book? Why did it take me so long to read from Jay Bree? Everyone was talking about her before a Polycon because she was an author that went to a Polycon, and I just hadn't, like, I wasn't able to read it. She doesn't have audiobooks for it, for her books. Oh my gosh, I'm so cold. She doesn't have audiobooks for her, like, for the series that everybody was reading, and so I didn't read her books, and I am regretting that because this was a 5-star read. It was so good. The writing is just phenomenal. It's so beautiful. The two characters already together, like, they already have such great chemistry in 88 pages, but like beyond that, Jay Bree she can write. Like, her prose is beautiful. I think for me personally, like, there's a really fine line between not having enough description and not having like pretty enough writing, which is weird to say, and then on the flip side of it, having like being too purple prosy. And I like a really happy medium. Sometimes the really dry writing style does not work for me. If you think about like Mark Lawrence, like his writing style tends to be really dry, and that doesn't work for me all the time. But then like on the flip side of it, it is 10 o'clock at night, sir. We do not need to be revving engines. On the flip side of it, like, Laini Taylor has such purple prosy writing that it's like, come on, get to the point. Like, we don't need 5 sentences to tell you about the color of the sky, right? And Jay Bree had such a beautiful way of like getting to the point, but doing it in such a way that the sentence was just so well crafted, in a way that like, just like it drew you in immediately. I think I already returned no, I didn't return the book to KU, so I can actually like tell you what I like highlighted. So like, this is chapter 1, right? The forest is too quiet. The acrid burn of ash sticks to the back of my throat, choking me, though it's been days since the fire. Like, that really paints a picture in enough words, but not too many words. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's like, it's so good. I'm obsessed. I will 100% be reading like, there's another prequel novella to this before I get into like the actual book, and I will 100% be reading it when I get back on fantasy. And I'm really excited because when I was at a Polycon, I got the Mystic Box, or the Arcane Society, I think is what it is actually called, of A Crown of Oaths and Curses. Not knowing if I would like the book, not knowing if I was going, like, I didn't know that much about it other than like, oh, a lot of people talked about it. And I stood in line for like 3.5 hours just to get a book from the book box that gave you literally 15 seconds to be like, which one do you want? And I was like, oh, I recognize that title, so I went with this. The book is stunning, right? It's a gorgeous book. Look at this. Like, anyways, so I'm really glad that like I actually like her writing because I paid good money for this book. Will not be reading this in June because it'll be something that I have to physically read, but it will happen probably sometime this summer. I want to get into a big book, which is really counterproductive to what we should be doing this weekend, because that's like a lot of small things, and like really counterproductive to this entire month for me personally. I know like some people will definitely still like read big books, but I feel like because I have to like switch teams every leg, I'm trying to like get a bunch of stuff done quickly. But July, I'm not doing anything. Like I am taking a break from readathons because like May was escape, and then this was just crazy. And then there's like, you know, there's still gonna be stuff later on in the year. So yeah, July I'm taking off, and I'm just gonna like read whatever I want. So that might be a July book, who knows. But anyways, I spun the wheel again, and I got sci-fi again. I am exhausted. It's only 10 o'clock. I was actually doing pretty good for a while, but then like 10 o'clock hit and I was just like, I'm tired. So I think I'm going to be listening to Either Bound by E.K. Johnston. This is an author that I've read from before. I read her book in the Star Wars universe, Ahsoka, and I really liked it. I like the writing style, and so I'm excited about this one. I know I've heard very mixed things about it. This was like a really popular book 2021 maybe, question mark. Yep, it came out in 2021. I remember like this was like Kayla from Books and Lala read it, I think, and gave it like 1 star. So I am definitely nervous, but also like Kayla and I don't have like that similar of taste in books, so who knows. It's a 6-hour audiobook, or at least that's what Libby says. So 2 times speed, 3 hours. So I don't know that I will finish it tonight, but I think what I might go do is go take a shower in the sprint, because that might wake me up, and then I can at least carry on for a few more hours. Because my thought was it was either going to be this, or I was going to pick up a saga volume, but I want to try to read the books that I physically own as much as possible, and this is a great weekend to be able to read down my physical TBR, especially with all these small books. And I thought I bought this one. Technically it's a purchased book, it's not an owned book, so like I will haul this in June, and so if I've already read it, then it doesn't go onto my TBR number. See, I'm thinking smart. So yeah, I'm gonna go take a shower because I have this sprint has 49 minutes left, and none of the teams are super close to hitting their next item. So I will so I'm gonna go take a shower, I think. So I'll talk to you later. Quick update. I am actually going to DNF Either Bound. I read a couple of reviews. Well, I read like the first like 50 pages or so. And then I was reading some reviews of like the 1 stars and some DNFs from people that I trust. And I don't usually take 1-star reviews and like, you know, assume that I'm also going to give that rating. But I appreciate that the author had some triggers in there, but there was like 50 pages. We have talked about counting calories so many times, like so many times. And I know that it's in like a survival aspect. Like it's supposed to, like, you know, it's this whole like, we're only given this amount of calories every day. We're only given this amount of food every day. And so you have to ration it. It's very much giving the bunker in the 100. I know that that's not what it is, because it's actually like a spaceship, but like that's what it feels like. But it's a lot of calorie stuff. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go read a couple reviews. And then there was like there's apparently at some point a character that like is forced to be pregnant at 17 or something like that, and I'm like, that feels dark for a YA book. So I'm just gonna DNF it, which is a bummer, because it was like, it's a new purchase for me. I bought it on Pango for like $3. It's not that like, it's not the end of the world. I'll resell it and I'll get the same money back. It was on a list for queer sci-fi authors, and there's one review that was like, this was comped as a queer sci-fi or a queer space opera, and I'm missing the queer and the opera. It's just boring and spacey. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So beyond the triggers, the content warnings, like the just darkness, it's also boring. I don't have time for that this weekend. So I am going to actually go get some sleep for a couple of hours, because I'm getting a headache, and I do not want it to turn into a migraine by tomorrow. It is 1 o'clock in the morning right now, which is way too late for me. I am normally in bed by 9:30. Like there are times where I go to bed and it is not even fully dark outside. So especially because I went to bed at 2:30 last night, because I was building the spreadsheet, and then woke up at 6. So I am tired, and I'm gonna go sleep for a bit, and then when I wake up I will figure out what I'm reading next. But I think I'm gonna probably spin again and read something like for a new team. And I think if I hadn't have already gotten points for sci-fi, I probably would have just like found another one. But I've already played for sci-fi, so I don't feel so bad. Just like DNFing it and moving on. So all right, I'm gonna go get some sleep for a couple of hours, and I will talk to you later. Good morning, happy Saturday, happy day 2 of Face-Off Weekend. We are closing in on the 24-hour mark, so we're on the last sprints of essentially the first day, if that makes sense. So we're on Margaret's channel right now. I went to bed at about 1:30 last night. I was getting a headache, like I said. Maybe it was closer to 2. And then I woke up at 4. So got out of bed at like 4:30. And jumped on the end of Aoife's sprints, and then now we're on Margaret's sprints. And it's been fun, but I'm definitely tired. Now that the sun is coming up, I am feeling a little bit more awake. I'm not feeling like I could just like completely go back to sleep and crash. I am the type of person that like when the sun is up, I'm good, I'm awake. It's hard for me to sleep. I can rest, but I can't sleep. And then it's like the second it's dark, I'm like, I'm out. Trying to do like all-nighters and late nights is just really hard. So I'm definitely gonna try to rest this afternoon. I don't know that I'll be on sprints tonight because I know that they're going to have like a full house. We're trying to keep the host like not like having so many hosts on every single time, just because like then no reading gets done. But anyways, this morning I pulled up a digital spinner because obviously that spinner makes a lot of noise, and I don't live alone, so wasn't trying to wake up my husband. So I did a digital spinner this morning after DNFing Etherbound last night, and I landed on Spooky again, and so I read this morning volume 1 of Something is Killing the Children. I know a lot of people have been reading this one for the readathon. I think that a lot of them read like volumes 1 through 3 for the Toronto leg, so I was like, I'm intrigued. This has actually been really interesting. It's kind of like Stranger Things vibes a little bit, with some like small town detective work happening. It was a good time. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I think it was a good introduction to the story, but we didn't get any answers. Everything was just like a setup. So I will continue on with the series though. It was a good start. I always say like, oh, I'm gonna continue on with the series whenever I do this, you know, because I'm switching switching teams so often. When will I get to it? I don't know. We don't know, because like I read Lumberjanes last year and never continued on that series, and I enjoyed that one. So anyways, I just spun again and got a romance, so that is exciting. And I have a lot of romance novellas that I want to read, but I think because it's still early, I still kind of want to read something physically. I am going to read Sanguine by Sierra Simone. This is a little like it's a short story. It's 60 pages. Does it meet the criteria? I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, 62 pages. This was a freebie at a Polycon when we went to her booth. So I'm gonna read this, and it's a vampire romance. Bastian is a vampire on vacation, and like any other vampire on vacation, all he wants to do is sleep all day and drink lots of wine, and maybe some blood too, you know, if the opportunity arises, which makes it very irritating when a vampire hunting priest wakes him up at super bright and sunny hour to kill him. But this vampire hunter happens to be very handsome, and Bastian happens to be very thirsty. I'll let you know how it is. I also need to edit a video today. So we're gonna have to be like part productive and then part reading. Also not feeling super great today. My headache is gone. My stomach is bugging me, and I don't know why. That's fun because I didn't eat anything like different, but it's been since like yesterday afternoon. Anyways, it is what it is. I'll talk to you when I finish this. Quick phone update because I don't want to get my camera out. And we're just gonna do this very quickly. I finished Sanguine. It is like 10:15, I think. I finished Sanguine. I'm giving it 4 stars. Was this just vampire smut? Gay vampire smut? Yes. Was it good? Also yes. Like, it's literally just like him showing up at this grumpy old vampire's like vacation home, and it's like basically then they have sex. There's nothing there. There's nothing happening, but It's Sierra Simone. The smut is good. It's good. It's a good time. It's a fun, smutty time. Also, I think that this is hilarious and also extremely on brand. But this was my 100th book of the year. And if that doesn't say anything, okay, this is the most on brand of my 100th book I think I've ever had. I got kicked off of sprints, not like literally, but like they told me I had to go to sleep. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to because, like I said, it's daylight. I don't know if I'm going to. So I think what I'm gonna probably do is go make some food, edit for a little bit, and maybe pass out on the couch because I feel like I can nap on the couch more so than I can like in my bed. That doesn't make any sense, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. But let's go ahead and just see where we're gonna be reading next because I can now spin my wheel, and then that way, like, it's one less decision I have to do later. Team Spooky. Okay, so Team Spooky. I have a couple of options for this. I think that like my first go-to was just like to continue Something is Killing the Children because I did have a good time with that one. But I think I actually want something that's a little bit longer today because I don't want to burn out. And I feel like if I just continue to go through the super short things, I'm gonna burn out. So I'm gonna pick up a Darcy book because Darcy is not an openly queer author that I know of. So this isn't something that like I would normally be able to read during, or that I would necessarily pick up during the rest of the month. Like, not that you can, I mean, I could do it. But since I'm trying to like maximize the points for whatever team I'm on, it wouldn't be my first go-to option. But I want to read the books on my own shelf, and I kind of want a Darcy book. So I'm going to pick up House of Shadows. I actually have no idea what this one's about. Sophie's world is shattered when disaster bankrupts her family. She's still reeling when she's offered an unexpected solution. Mr. Argenton, a wealthy stranger, has asked for her hand in marriage. Marrying Mr. Argenton will save her family, but it condemns Sophie to a life in Northwood, a vast and unnaturally dark mansion situated hours from civilization. It goes on, but I don't want to continue reading and get like spoiled. Darcy reads really fast, so this would be like it's going to be like a bingeable read. So I think after I rest for a little bit, I will pick this back up this afternoon. That's all I have for you right now. I am deliriously tired. So I'll talk to you later. Good morning. It's bright and early. I don't have any makeup on, so there's that. It is 7:30. I actually got a little bit of sleep last night. Went to bed about 2:30ish. Woke up at 6. Nobody had gotten to the next threshold, so I fell back asleep for another hour and a half. So it's 7:30 now. I didn't update you last night because it was obviously late and I couldn't be, I had to be quiet and everything. But I did finish House of Shadows by Darcy Coates. I did not realize until I picked this up that it was a historical horror, and it's kind of giving like Rebecca vibes, but not. It's like if Rebecca and then Gallows Hill were a thing. Does that make sense? Like, the premise is not Rebecca, but it's giving me that like gothic historical vibe to it. Does that make sense? Probably not. It's too early in the morning. I haven't had any coffee. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. Could be 3.5. Like, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But obviously I'm not doing a whole lot of like thinking about my reviews this weekend. I liked it. I think it was a really good idea. I liked the idea of like the house kind of like out to get this woman. However, I think that had I read it early on in my Darcy Coates journey, I would have liked it a lot more. I think Fulcroft Ghost is probably an exception to this rule because that was also one of her earlier books. But for the most part, you can really tell that Darcy has improved as a writer in her newer stuff. Like, you can tell that this is an earlier piece. Does that make sense? So anyways, I'm not going to spend for my last book. We have 2.5 hours left of Face Off. And I have not read for Team Fiction. I don't know how that happened, but I haven't. So I am going to pick up the Frederick Bachman novella, and Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer. And I'm going to end with just a heartbreaking little novella. I will talk to you when I finish that book. I think that one's only like 70 pages or something like that. So that will likely be my last book for Face Off. All right, everybody. It is the end of Face Off. That was a crazy 48 hours. There were almost 8,000 books submitted just for Face Off. That's insane. That is an insane number for a 48-hour like side quest. And I know that there were teams that were not fully invested in the side quest that was Faceoff, they were using these sprints, using this time to either catch up on legs or to like get ahead on sightseeing, which like honestly is a strategy that I think might work. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't looked at the final numbers for the Cape Town leg yet, but I will do that here shortly because we are going to drop another leg. You already know that by the time you're seeing this video. There were a lot of strategies in play because I think that there were some teams that like they went so hard for Faceoff. Like they went all in. Like every single book was a Faceoff read. And in terms of Faceoff, like that may have absolutely worked for them. But then other teams kind of like split their reads. Other teams were like, no, we want to focus on catching up. And it was just kind of interesting to see like how different last year versus this year was in terms of Faceoff, because last year it was very much a 1-to-1. Like whoever read the most, obviously averaged per team, then that's your like that was who won. And this time they really had to do a lot of strategy. There was a team at 2 o'clock in the morning when I dropped the next, like I gave them their next item and I said, you know, what do you want to, which difficulty level do you want? They, you know, easy, medium, or hard. At that point in the night, everybody was pretty much choosing easy because they were like, we just want to get it quick and move on. And this team was like, no, I think we're going to go hard. And I think that it was a bold move. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. Like, if it does, it's really going to work. But if it doesn't, they're going to end up like in last because the points were so close between everybody. And yeah, I'm not going to say if it worked or not. If you are that team, you'll know if it did or not. But yeah, 8,000 books in 48 hours is an absolutely crazy number. I'm so glad that everybody had such a good time this weekend. I'm glad that everybody, you know, was having fun with their reads. I hope everybody was having fun with their reads. I know that there's always this like thought of like trying to push through a bad book just for points, which can be frustrating. But it's, you know, mental health is important. Take care of yourself. We still have 2 weeks of this readathon left. So, you know, do what you need to for self-care. I am just so excited about how this readathon has gone, how like everyone has been just so excited about it, so invested in it. I truly thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Like my hosts have been just absolutely phenomenal. You know, making me go to bed at, you know, when I thought I should have stayed up. Everyone has been so amazing. The hosts, the producers, the mods. There was a lot of growing pains with this readathon and how big it got this year. It's like grown beyond my wildest imagination. But that's great. That's you know, we're building communities over here. That's what matters. So with that said, Faceoff has come to a close. Let me know down in the comments below your favorite book of Faceoff. Mine was obviously the Scepter. Obviously. And I wish I would have gotten to the sword this weekend. I really wish I would have, but I didn't necessarily read as much on Saturday as I thought I was going to, because I was like, you know, I was going really strong on Friday into Friday night, but Saturday I just kind of hit a wall because I didn't sleep. I am going to read it before the end of the month. Once I get onto Team Fantasy, I will use it for a sightseeing prompt. But yeah, that's all I've got for you today. We will start again with a new vlog next week. Or this week, today. I'm starting it today. Of course, my battery decides to die right as I'm doing my outro. Like I said, let me know what your favorite book of the weekend was down in the comments below. If you're not feeling chatty, put your team emoji. That's all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Told you this was temporary.